Good evening and welcome to the 96th episode of the Huddy Hui. It's a wet one out there and the season of rugby is very much coming to an end. Club rugby finished in the weekend and we've still got a few games of college rugby to go, but we're getting into the crunch end of the NPC here in New Zealand, particularly early on in the competition, particularly in Wellington. We're about to have the first Renfrew Shield Challenge, and I thought we'll guest on tonight. He was supposed to come on last week, but he forgot it was his mother's birthday. Akira Ieremia is our guest on the Huddy Hui. Akira, it's great to have you on tonight.
Cheers. No, thank you for having me.
Okay, so let's start off with last Saturday. The team took on Otago down there, played for the Mike Gibson Memorial Trophy. Good start to the season so far. Tell us about that game against Otago.
Yeah, no, it was an awesome experience to be down in Dunedin. First time down there in the South Island as well. So, no, it was an awesome experience to be able to play also in the Forsyth Bar Stadium, which was, unreal experience. And to even get the win was top it all off.
The environment down there at Forsyth Bar, sometimes known as the Glass House. Tell us about playing inside a covered stadium.
It's weird because you don't really have to worry about all the conditions. Even though it was raining, you can kind of see the raindrops fall on top instead of on your head. So, yeah, no, it's pretty good to be able to play in dry conditions.
Team had a very early challenge first round up to Palmerston North against Manawatu. 65 minutes of hard grind and grit, and eventually the team got through. Tell us about the learnings from that Manawatu game, because the team were dominant in patches, just took a while to get going.
Yeah, first round is always a bit of a tough game, but I think just learnings from that game, and then we took it on to Otago, and then ended up scoring a couple of tries. So that was pretty good.
And it seems your skipper Duplessis was a bit annoyed that they conceded 5 points against Otago. What's he like off the field?
Nah, he's a great man. He's a good bloke to be beside. You see him in the changing room. He's always got a smile on his face, and always getting around the boys. So yeah, good man.
And there seems, at the moment, a lot of talent and flankers in the capital city. You're lucky enough to make the Lions squad. Tell us about the competition, because there's a lot of young flankers in the Lions squad this year.
Yeah, it's filled with a bunch of talent, but I think I've slowly transitioned into the lock position, which is I'm enjoying. So being able to learn off guys like Don Bird and Caleb Delaney is really, really awesome to have. But yeah, these new young players I'm excited to play with, playing them against club rugby and then being able to rep the jerseys alongside them. So yeah.
What is your preferred position? You mentioned that you've been looking at lock mostly in the campaign, but most of the season you've been playing flanker for your club side. What's your preferred position and why?
We get this question a lot, but to be honest, I don't really have a preferred position. I just get a number chucked on my back and then I just go and play rugby. So yeah, that's the really best way to put it for me, I guess.
How are the defensive patterns different in the NPC compared to club rugby?
Well, compared to club rugby, the game's definitely a lot faster, so you got to be more alive and on your feet to be able to compete against these, fast teams. So, yeah, definitely faster game in the NPC level compared to club rugby. So, yeah.
And with those defensive patterns, what's the biggest thing you've learned at that level when you're dealing around going to the next step around defensive patterns? What's the biggest thing you've learned?
So the biggest thing would be, good question. Just staying alive and getting on your feet. Don't after making like a tackle of some sort, just try your best to get back up and not have one less number down in the defensive line.
You made your Lions debut against Horowhenua Kapiti in the Renfrew Shield pre-season. How did you find your debut, and what was the feeling of pulling on the Lions jersey for the first time, the same jersey that your father played in as well, or played for as well?
Yeah, obviously that was the main reason why love putting that jersey on is being able to step in the same footsteps as the old man, and being able to just don the crest is always a special achievement. But to be able to do it in a Ranfurly Shield match, which is upholds so much importance, I guess, for the whole of the competition, is just makes it even more special.
And mentioning about your father, Alama Ieremia, how much of an influence has he been in your rugby career?
Oh, he's helped me out throughout, I guess, since I was little. From the very beginning, he's always wanted to push me to be the best, and yeah, having him alongside me is just a blessing, and yeah.
And at the moment, I believe he's coaching over in the USA. I believe over there, of the national side, I believe.
Yeah. So he's helping out with the Eagles. I think he's the attack coach for them. So yeah, I think they've got a couple of preseason games that they're playing. I think he's got one more soon. I'm not too sure when though.
Now, of course, the Lions coaching staff has a bit of a change up this season. Tamati Elson has stepped up into the head coaching role. Tell us about the new coaching lineup in the Lions program for season 2023.
Yeah, I'll start with head coach. Times is, he's got that success, I guess, down at the Crusaders, and he's looking to bring it up here to Wellington, which is awesome to see, and you can really feel it when he's, collecting all the boys and giving us all the main messages, alongside with our other coaches of Orlando and Greg, and also the backs coach and the Trent. All just gels together and makes a great team.
Now, one of the questions I always tend to ask some of our young players that go on into club rugby, what were your main motivations and reasons for going to Tawa for club rugby?
That's a great question as well. In all honesty, I played Parramatta Plymouton for about most of my junior years, and then ended up playing for Tawa probably in my last year, and then yeah, no real influence on where to go, but just thought I'd go back to Tawa really, and see it out there.
Tawa, the last few years have always built up throughout the season. 2023 looked like that again. The team was building up nicely towards the end of the Swindale Shield, beat Petone in the first round at the Jubilee Cup. What happened in the second round of the Jubilee Cup against OBU?
Yeah, not too sure really. It's just a game of rugby, I think, and credits to the OBU boys. They had a lot of injuries, but they fought through and were able to get that win. So yeah, no.
And of course, one of the most interesting things about Tawa, particularly this season, it's a very young side. There's still the ever experience of the likes of Hemi Fermanis and Randall Bishop, but there's a lot of young talent coming through. Tell us about some of that young talent coming through out there at Tawa.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a trend at Tawa where we get a bunch of young players who, look like they're going to play Colts and then they end up, starring in the Prems team. So it's a good trend to have, and hopefully we could just build from there and create this trend, keep this trend going.
The Tawa Rugby Club has, of late, the last decade, had a pretty successful program. Tell us about some of the key influences at the club and the team culture, because it sounds pretty special out there.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to be around all the boys. It's whether it's I hate saying it, but win or lose on the booze, but I'm never really on the booze that much. So yeah, no, it's full credit to all the players and all the coaches too, especially Thomas George, who's helped me throughout my career as well. So yeah.
Tito Ioane, he's another legend of the club. Tell us about him as a forwards mentor.
Yeah, no, I think he's probably one of the first guys I really looked up to when I came to Tawa at the start, and yeah, just learning off his experience and just the way he plays. I try to, I guess, match my game to his. So yeah.
Now in 2021, Tawa took on Marist St. Pat's in the Jubilee Cup final. Tell us about that experience playing in the Jubilee Cup final, your first one, and the experience of winning the championship.
Yeah, obviously, I think that was my second year for Tawa, but I never really knew the importance that much of the Jubilee Cup is so new to me. But seeing the guys like Tito Ioane and Randall Bishop, guys who have played club rugby before, they know the importance of this, and then just being able to get one under my belt, I guess, really helps. So yeah.
In particular, that final, the first half, Tawa blew Mara St. Pat's off the park. What were the key reasons why the team flourished so much in that first half? Because I believe your captain, Kimura Hoiti Parapara, that day was just playing like a man possessed.
Yeah, I mean, he still plays like a man possessed to this day, even for the Wellington squad. But I'm not too sure. I guess just well prepped. I guess leading into that week, and then boys just performing, and then being able to hold that lead for such a long period of time, and then come out with the championship on the other end. So yeah.
Now there is a bit of a story. It might be folklore, but the rumour goes is that before the game, the team were at the Bellevue Hotel for their warm-up, and there might have been a shot of alcohol before the game. Is there truth to that story?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't think, unless I didn't get an invite, but I'm pretty sure those rumors aren't true. So yeah.
No, let's put that theory to bed. But let's I'm going to ask you this question around being a lock and a flanker. Of course, what do you see in Sam Whitelock and Brodie Retallick that makes them so good? And what will it take for you to get to that level?
I guess just their hard work and determination. They got an engine on them, and they can run around the park the whole day and just lead the All Blacks side, so well for such a long period of time, and just being a physical presence, I guess, for their team.
And of course, Wellington Academy you've been involved in as well. Tell us about that program, because there's a lot of young talent that has come through there and still yet to come through that program.
I wasn't really part of the development scene, to be honest, so I wouldn't really have too much knowledge on that. So yeah.
And how did you find out about that you made the Lions squad? Was it a simple phone call from Tamati, or did you find out sometimes the old-fashioned way?
Nah, I got a phone call from it was actually from the Fords coach, Orlando. So gave me the phone call, and then just real happy, real emotional, and as you do, had to call the old man and call my mum. So yeah, that was a pretty special moment.
Now, interesting, we come to this part of the season. First 15 rugby gets to its ultimate climax of the season. Now, you are a product of the great school that is St. Patrick's College, Silverstream. Tell us about your time there at the college.
No, it was great to be around such a great group of guys, and I probably don't really connect with many of them to this day, but at my time there, it was just a great culture to have, and then being able to see the guys succeed in wherever they are, whether it be on social media or through messages, is just really awesome to see.
What was your best game for the first 15?
Oof, best game. I might have to bring up the final. I'm not going to lie. Being able to get a try in there and maybe a try assist was probably a pretty cool experience.
Now, of course, there's a bit of a rivalry in the last sort of 12, 13 years against Scots College between Silverstream and Scots. At the moment, though, Silverstream's finding it pretty tough to beat Scots in a final. Stream versus Scots. Scots have won that 5 times. Tell us about your time when you played Scots College, because that's really turned into quite a key battle between the two schools.
Yeah, back in my day, Scots College really had a strong backline, and stronger forwards. So yeah, being able to come up against those guys who, a really good competition to have, and be such a close game. It hurts, but then at the same time, it's good learning experiences to have throughout the your rugby career. So yeah.
What are those experiences that you learn from in those games where you get to a final, you lose? What's the key things that you learn from those losses that you've taken forward into your rugby career?
Just taking it game by game, like it's just one of those ones where it's like it'll hurt, but I guess it will, make a great impact on your future. So not to let it hurt you too much, but it will give you motivation to be able to win your next games and such. So yeah.
Did you manage to catch many of the games of this year's first 15? Despite the fact they lost the final, they've had a pretty successful year, winning all the traditionals, the Grand Slam.
Oh yes, nice. I haven't really been keeping up that much, but I did see the unfortunate highlight of the bro missing the kick off the upright. Yeah, that kind of put a pain in my heart, I guess. But yeah, nah, that's the only thing I really caught a glimpse of in the first 15 soon.
Particularly in first 15 rugby, this is a question I've asked with one of my fellow rugby commentators. If it's a draw at full time in a first 15 game, do you think there should be extra time or should the result stay as it is? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, there's got to be a winner somehow. So I don't know how they can just give it to both schools. So I'd say yeah, some sort of overtime or extra time to be able to settle that situation would probably help out a lot. But I don't think any school wants to be able to share the trophy. So yeah.
And during your time at Silverstream, who were some of the key influences and role models on your time in the first 15?
Role models. I would say first would be Rocco Berry. Yeah, just having his talent is amazing to see on the field. You don't have to really worry about too much when it goes out to the backs. You just focus on your thing and then let him do his razzle dazzle alongside Riley Higgins as well, who I managed to play with in college, and then even Peter Larkai, who's my teammates now, I guess you could say. So yeah, being able to see those guys flourish and then apply it to the field, yeah, it was awesome to see.
And Rocco Berry and the Warriors just on fire this season, in particular Rocco, who seems to have grown this season in the Warriors program.
Yeah, completely happy for him, and haven't really watched, wasn't really an NRL fan at first, but then being able to see the Warriors climb, I guess, to their success that they're at now, and even with the alongside Rocco, makes it even better to see. So yeah.
Now, I believe also when you were at school, you're also pretty good at another sport, volleyball. So does being a tall lock and flanker help with that area of your game?
I mean, I guess the height helps, and I guess the jumping ability definitely helps within my position. So yeah, having that volleyball background was probably a big help in my ability to get off the ground and compete in lineouts and stuff like that. So yeah.
And what do you do outside of rugby, Akira? What do you do? What do you do? Study or work?
Currently a tradie, bit of a roofer nowadays. So working with a couple of the Tawa boys at this company called Turfreeze.
Oh, very good. I imagine you might be pretty busy the next few days with all the rain coming through people's roofs at the moment. So, but let's talk about building up to this said day. Of course, the Hut Rec, NPC, first home game of the NPC, but of course previously played there against South Canterbury last month. But this is the first defence in the NPC of the Ranfurly Shield. How important is the Ranfurly Shield to this team, and what pressure does it add to the game?
Yeah, obviously the Ranfurly Shield is a very important part of the NPC tournament, and just being able to hold that shield in our possession makes it even better. But it also comes with a consequence of putting it up and trying to defend it. But I think the boys know that it's a big challenge, but we all know the importance of what it holds, and we're ready to do a job on this Saturday. So yeah.
In Southland this season, they lost their first game against Waikato and drew against Northland. Tell us about the areas or the players you have to watch out for in their roster.
Oof. I guess from a forward's point of view, their heart and soul of their team is their lock. I think it's Beckius, his name is, and his experience that he brings to the Southland team really fires them up. So I think, just being able to watch him throughout the game.
And of course, this is the start of a very busy period for the Wellington Lions, and the NPC terminology, it's called Storm Week. Of course, Hawke's Bay currently going through that at the moment, and Waikato. Of course, your Storm Week, Wednesday next week, is against Tasman, which will be another Ranfurly Shield defence if you beat Southland on Wednesday. Tasman seem to be going well as well. What are the challenges that face the team during a Storm Week, and how do you go about approaching what is pretty much playing 3 games in a week?
Yeah, I think one big thing would obviously be for all the players to just recover their bodies and be ready for that midweek game. And this doesn't really just come down to the first 23. It comes down to all players really. Everyone's got a job to do, and just be willing to put your hand out there and be ready for the opportunity to do so.
Akira, it's been fantastic having you on the Huddy Hui this evening. All the best for the rest of the NPC campaign. Go well, and hopefully we'll probably see you at the Hut Rec on Saturday.
No, awesome, beautiful. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Akira. That is Akira Ieremia, and a promising young talent coming out of the Tawa Rugby Club, and of course doing very well in the Lions system as well. Had a pretty strong game coming off the bench against Otago on the weekend. Now, earlier this evening, we had the first of the second lot of college sport finals that we're bringing to you on the month of August. In particular, we had the first 15 final. Of course, Scott's winning that one, 29-27. And of course, Stream narrowly missing a conversion to draw the game and share the title, but Scott's would have gone through to the second round. So what a final that was. Yeti Tyre Campbell scoring a brilliant individual try, and Silverstream fighting their way back in that match. In particular, stellar effort by Alexander Hewitt, son of Norm Hewitt, but also Drew Bird McLean for Silverstream, and the 6th jersey was just simply outstanding. And he's only year 12, so he's got another year left in him as well. Silverstream, of course, narrowly losing to Scots, but the Scots captain, Harry Irving, played a very strong game as well, did the number 8. So some real promising talent coming through in the first 15 grades in the capital city. And speaking about Scots, they take on Fielding High School this Saturday at 1 p.m. out at Scots. And that's the Hurricanes' first 15 semi-final. The other one will be between Palmerston North and Napier. And the winner of those 2 semis will play each other, I think, in Palmerston North next weekend. And the winner will go through to the top 4 in Palmerston North the following weekend after that. Now, tonight we had the girls, College Sport Wellington Girls Premiership Final, and it was Wellington Girls that won that one 4-2 against Hutt Valley High School. That was live on Huddy Sports YouTube. And speaking about other events we're bringing you as well, we can tell you some more of those. Wednesday next week from Petone Memorial Park will be the College Sport Wellington Boys Football Final, live here on Huddy Sports. And also, of course, next Friday, we have the basketball final, the boys basketball final from the ASB Centre out there in Kilburnie. So 2 big, massive sporting events coming up, along with some other codes and winter sports with College Sport Wellington that we're going to be bringing you for the month of August, including a bit of netball as well. So that's going to be rather riveting and exciting. Well, of course, the Huddy Hui, it's our 96th episode. We will have another Huddy Hui next week. Question is what day it will be. Wednesdays are pretty busy for the next week, so it could be Tuesday or Thursday, but get posted on our social media and our website. And also make sure you like and subscribe to Huddy Sports YouTube to catch up with content, including this Huddy Hui as well, and many other episodes. You can go back and watch the streams as well on our page. And if you'd like to give Huddy Sports a bit of a sponsorship and support, please reach out to us at huddysports.co.nz or huddysportsnz@gmail.com. So there's the Huddy Hui for tonight. Ciao for now.